Greetings to all of you. Welcome to this iqoption automation series. In the first video, we did login and logout using HTTP request. In this video, we are going to lay foundation to iqoption WebSocket. Before we start and start receiving and sending messages to WebSocket, we need to first establish communication and then get authenticated, right? So these are the two things that we are going to do in this video. Okay, before we get started, please make sure you install this library called websocket-client. You can get it from PyPy. Okay, now first let's establish communication with WebSocket without sending our credential details. That means let's subscribe for public messages, right? Let's import the library that we just installed and initialize the WebSocket. Okay, first thing it takes is the WebSocket URL, and we can get the WebSocket URL from iqoption wave. So this is their WebSocket URL. Paste the URL here, and now we need to define couple of functions or even callback functions. Okay, so we're getting error because we haven't defined that function. I'll simply copy and paste this from my Google Docs, right? Okay, so on message handles all the incoming messages, on errors process if any error occurs, and so on, right? So all good. Now let's run the WebSocket and see if the connection was established or not. Okay, it says WebSocket open, and now we're getting something called time sync message. So time sync message is something iqoption keeps sending every second or so to be in sync with their server, right? So this means we have successfully established communication with iqoption WebSocket, right? Now let's get authenticated to WebSocket. We need these four libraries as well, right? Let's define WebSocket to be none at the initialization phase, right? And now let's define WebSocket function here. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste a script from this test.py file, right? We need to minor changes here. Instead of ws, now let's set this to ws.websocket, which was none at the initialized phase, right? And these four functions as well, same as it is. Okay, with minor changes here. This now these all functions are part of the class, so we need to say self dot class name and self dot ws. We haven't defined that yet. Let's copy paste that and place it here. Okay, so everything looks good, right? Except here we use client dot run forever, right? Instead of client dot run forever, I'm going to use threading in order to avoid blocking. Okay, and this needs to be WebSocket. Okay, so everything looks good. Let's do one thing. After we successfully log in, let's start the WebSocket, right? Okay, all good. Now let's run the script and see if we get the same message as before. Okay, time sync WebSocket open and time sync message, right? That means we have established communication with the WebSocket, right? So next thing, we need to pass our SSID in order to get authenticated, and we can get SSID from session.cookies, because after we make session request, the cookies is automatically set to self.session, right? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's first get cookies. SSID. Before we pass this to WebSocket, we need to convert it to JSON object. Now let's send this to WebSocket. Send data. Okay, so everything is okay. Now let's run the script and see if we get. Okay, it says WebSocket connection is already closed. Okay, this may be happening because we are running this too early or too late, right? So let's do one thing. Let's set a variable called we will try to get authenticated only after WebSocket is active, right? So by default I'll set it to false. I can set this variable to true here on message. When we receive the message, that means our WebSocket is active, right? So I can let's do self dot, right, instead of ws I'll make it to self is active. I'll set to true, right? This means our WebSocket is active. Now what we can do is we can keep looping until self.ws is false, and then when it becomes true, move on to this SSID authentication process. Okay, now let's rerun the script. This will be no problem, I guess. Okay, so we are getting something called profile message, and we only get this after we successfully authenticate, right? So we we send the valid session ID, and now it has identified us and now giving this data, right? Right now it's a bit difficult to read. So what I'm going to do next is, since message is coming this way, name equals to profile, right? So let's do if message name equals to profile, save this in a JSON file. All right. I think we need to parse this message to JSON before doing this, because message comes as a string, right? So let's do that. I will uncomment this message, or let's keep it as it is, because we get to know, right, that everything was okay with that thing. So okay, websocket open times sync, and getting authenticated message but not the profile.json. What may be the reason? Okay, I don't know. R file. Okay, not R file. This needs to be profile. Small typo here. I'll read on the script. And now we have got profile.json. But this seems to be empty. What am I doing wrong? Maybe json.dump. Okay, so now we're getting the data, right? And the profile contains user profile, including account balances, name, email, whatever things there is, right? So you can see balances, real account, demo account, then my details here, my email address, my name, Sudeep, all this and that. So we only get this after successfully getting authenticated, right? So this means we are successfully authenticated to WebSocket, and now we can start receiving and sending message to the WebSocket. Okay, so that's all in this video. In the next video we will be doing switching between real to tournament to demo accounts, right? Getting balance, uh, uh, and also switching to tournament accounts, and try to get tournament account balances, so things like that, right? So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for next one. Have a great one.